Hey YouTube, Dread Joker here, and today we're taking a look at one of my all-time favorite master grades, the Strike Rouge Ootori. This is just awesome. I've always liked the Strike Rouge just because it's one of those rose-colored mobile suits, but the fact that it got the all-time coolest striker pack is awesome. Let's check it out. So here we see Kigali. Her amazing mobile suit. It's got her lovely traditional color scheme. Off-white, which actually isn't an off-white. This is actually a very, very light pink. Pink. And then rose for the torso. And then that epic head sculpt. Having the just plain awesome eyes peeking through there, that lovely green they went with. And anybody who's complaining I have these shoulder pads on backwards, yes, I have that for a reason. I like these forward. Why would you put the extra detail to the back? It makes no sense. I don't plan to spend a lot of time staring at her butt today. But to show you the big difference here, let's bring in the old one. So here's Captain Crap. And getting him to stand was already a problem, and the remaster does it absolutely no problem. All the problems I had with that one are corrected with her. She holds her weapons. You have to negotiate. She can stand up. You have to negotiate. She has epic accessories. You have to threaten him to hold his. So moving Captain Crap out to the side, and by that I mean we're just throwing him to the side, we're immediately going to get into the amazing base articulation. And you may ask, why do I have the gun in the hand? Well, this is one of those swappable finger style kits, and I hate the freaking swappable fingers. They are more trouble than they're worth. I would have preferred the old hands. Or, if they're going to do a swappable finger style kit, can they do a swappable fingers that, I don't know, have articulation? I know it's a lot to ask. This is 2019. We can do it. Or 2020 by the time this video goes up. I don't know how I've scheduled things. Because past Joker's not future Joker, and future Joker's very bad at planning for the future and the past. If that makes any sense, thank you. If that doesn't make any sense, don't worry. Didn't make sense to me either. Moving into the articulation, let's just start with the shoulders. You got the same shoulder pad style connectors as with the old Strike, so that's good. The head has a full-on giggity now. Full 360. And very good backside of the head, too, unlike the other Strike. Captain Crapo. That basically, when the remaster came out, there was no reason to buy the old kits unless you're looking for a certain accessory, like the IWSP, or if you're looking for the Strike Noir. I'm kind of predicting this. We might get a remaster Strike Noir, but here's the caveat. I'm predicting it's going to be P Bandai. Why? Everything in 2019 was P Bandai. What the frack, Bandai? Moving right along with articulation, the arms are awesome. They come even further than the old Master Grade Strike. They come all the way up and can rotate forward while doing so you can do the praise the sun, give me 5, bro. Unlike the old Strike, and I never knew this version of the Strike has additional thrusters in the shoulder pads. I was also pleasantly surprised when I built the Perfect Grade, which will be coming eventually, but oh man, that's going to be a long one. Because there is no matching the Perfect Grade when it comes to articulation. Elbows. You got one joint down there, one up there for a perfect 1/8 180 bend. And if it ain't 180, it's pretty freaking close. Also, you might see she's doing the smooth criminal right now, and no loss of balance. I'm rotating the stand. No loss of balance. I'm doing it turntable style. No loss of balance. You can't do this with the old strike. The old strike, you have to threaten and then super glue. The detailing on this is phenomenal. Then you have your standard ball socket wrist, which is pretty blocked by the armor. The Strike Rouge received additional armor, and in case you're wondering, yes, you can convert this into a Strike Rouge colored version of the regular remaster Strike. Why you would is beyond me, but you can. Moving down to the hips, and this is where my love kind of wanes away. I'm not a fan of what they did for the Schneider boxes. Let's just call them that. The knife holders are... I like rotation, okay? Unfortunately, these just have this pivot right here and up here. There is absolutely no rotation here. They are permanently locked at this angle, so straight down. If you're not a fan of straight down or you want them swept back, guess what? You can't. But super premium butt flap here. There is no way you're not going to appreciate the articulation on this thing. And yeah, doing the leg that far back does complicate balance, although guess what? You can still do it and she'll stand. This is without a backpack. The second we add a striker pack, we are talking totally different. The front skirts also on hinges and so you're on a double hinge. You got a ball socket here and a hinge here. So that means if you want to, you can have the skirt just flare off to the side and it'll stay there just fine. I love this. I cannot wait to get my hands on the rest of the Seed Remaster kits, especially the original Strike. I don't know what it is. I have severe strike lust. Anybody who has a problem with that, come at me. Come at me and I will explain to you categorically why you are wrong. Moving down to the legs, we do have... Oops. Well, this happened anyways. We have a variable position hips. I leave mine permanently down because otherwise you're going to have a very bad day. As you just saw, and also as you saw, this comes off a little too easily. Don't let what happened with the leg discourage you. I was not paying attention. Now, whatever you do, don't do that when you're building. It hurts very badly if you accidentally run a knife through your hand. Ask me how I'd know. Going down to the leg, you have forward with the hips down as far as they'll go. With up, you're lucky to get this. Bend at the first joint down to almost 70. Pull the second joint, which pulls this, which pulls here, here, and here, and now you're looking at almost 180. This is amazing. Moving down to the skirting, the panel flap thingy, majigger, on the foot here. It moves wherever you want it to go. It goes up, it goes down, it rotates below here for a change. So instead of being on the old Strike, let's get it in frame. Instead of being on the old Strike, where the armor segment was actually mounted up here on the sides, it's mounted where it should be on the ankle. This gives much better articulation. Also features a super premium toe. It goes down. It goes very, very forward. So if you want to do a lunge position, you totally can. This is just the base kit. It does have an opening cockpit, but I mean, honestly, if you've seen one Strike cockpit, you've seen them all. Opens exactly the same way. But let's get Kigali set to the side and get this baby a little angled down because we have to deal with her new backpack. And oh, mama, what a backpack! I'm seriously wondering if they could have crammed anything more into this, like a universal remote control or something. This is like the Swiss Army knife of everything. This is the Ootori. Meaning Phoenix, this thing is undying. It's unrelenting. It's carrying a little too much equipment. Although this is me we're talking about, and when it comes to equipment, I think this is a little too light for me. So looking at it right off, you got a multi-rocket pod up here, which is on an arm, which can extend all the way up, swing forward, and rotate around. This is not entirely color accurate. If you want it to be color accurate, you just got to paint these barrel tips. If not, use an inking pen. It's fine. Everything on this kit was lined using GM301 Gray, the gray inking pen. It was all I had at the time. I would have done black, but at the same time, I like the gray on this. I think it goes better. Then you have the absolutely massive beam battle sword. This thing is freaking huge. If the IWSP was the answer to the perfect striker, this is the answer to the IWSP. Being its own backpack, they took the IWSP, merged it with a Sky Grasper, and then strapped it to the Strike Rouge. This thing is overkill incarnate. Moving to the wings, we also have 4 sets of missiles. These are triple missiles here. So 12 missiles, 2 drop tanks, which if you're aiming it right as you're flying, you can do a lot of damage with. Ask anybody who's ever been beamed upside the head by a shell casing. Then, you have a large beam cannon, which I believe is the blue one here. One of these is a beam cannon, one of these is a rail cannon. One of them is pretty much pulled from the Freedom Gundam. It was a carbon copy internally. It just removed the folding mechanism. The other one is a rail cannon, which I believe was also pulled from the Freedom. Basically, they scanned the Freedom and decided to take everything that wasn't nailed down and turn it into a new weapon. It was amazing. Get Captain Crap's shield out of my face. This also features really good articulation, and if you're wondering, where have I seen this before? This was actually featured in a couple of things. The base for this you may have seen in Gundam Build Fighters, if you've ever seen this, because this is essentially the core booster, I believe it was called, in Build Fighters. This is what was on the Build Strike full package, a modified version of this. And when I say this, and when I show you what this can do come the end, you're going to want to buy both of these kits. Without question. The wings are on big ball joints in here, so they can move, and they hold ridiculously well. The wings can separate, X-Wing style. So if you want, you can have this thing flying with the biggest profile possible, just letting everything unload. And also, inside these wings, they are incredibly detailed. I highly recommend lining this kit. If you don't, you're severely missing out. I'm aiming this at my brother. I hope he's hearing me. You also get this flappy thing. I have no idea what purpose this would serve. It's not like it's going to fly under something, or, you know, fly under something up through its legs and decide to take away the enemy's ability to procreate. But, I mean, it's an option. I appreciate it. The cannons are also very maneuverable. You're on a hard plastic connection up here, which is fairly solid. It's not going anywhere. It is maneuverable. It's twistable. it's fine. It's not going to break or anything like that unless you're being, I don't know, abusive. The cannon down here is on a peg and a polycap. Standard fare for kits at this day and age. What this kit also includes is, once again, an action stand. This is not like the old action stand in its entirety. It features a new top. What this top is for is underneath here, there is a hole. And what this is designed to do, because this does not actually connect to the strike itself, is you connect it to the Ootori. And then you raise up your tripod and lock it in place, because this is only going to get bigger. Now, if you have seen the Ootori before, you might be wondering, well, wait a minute, where's all the yellow detailing? Here's all the yellow detailing. I am not putting this many stickers on a master grade. You can bite me. There are 20, I'm sorry, it's labeled as 20. But the problem is, there are 4 sections in all of this, so it's 80. 80 stickers on a master grade. No! The Rouge also features the traditional loadout. We have her awesome shield, which I have lined, very much so. This is the remaster shield. It connects in very much the same way as everything else on this kit. But getting Kigali back into the frame here, we have to first start by bringing the sword up and rotating it around. Yes, you can rotate these pegs. I personally recommend doing it. Then bring the cannons forward and drop them down. Grab the nose cone and the back section. Slide it forward till you feel it pop a little bit. It's going to be like, if you've ever felt the friction of 2 polycaps sliding against each other, it's going to feel like that. Otherwise, you won't have enough clearance to bring it down. Once it's down, you're fine. However, I feel that it's leaning forward. Or not. Okay, it is leaning forward. I did it wrong. What you need to do is remember to disconnect it from the stand before you move it backwards. Otherwise, it's not going to get back as far as it needs to go. Then you realize that you were right the first time. And you want to be right the first time around, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get this properly connected. And Kigali with the strike, it's real simple. I forgot to show off her back, and it does have additional articulation back here. The thrusters move, there's no friction there. It's literally just the thrusters flopping in the wind. Okay, cool, I guess. No real lining to do here. I think I may have done, yeah, I added 4 dots. The 4 itty-bitty dots you see there, that's the lining. Everything else is already included. It's real simple. Except I still think I screwed this up. This is going to be a long one because the Ootori is deciding to not cooperate today. And I was right. I did not have it snapped forward all the way. You slide it forward until you hear a pop. When you do that, you connect it back together. Then you knock over a box because you're frustrated. It's supposed to look like this. Cockpit goes behind the stand. Then you take the strike and make the 2 mingle. This makes it a little front heavy. And in case you're wondering, no, you do not have to use the stand. You can have it on the ground with the sword. Sword. That backpack frustrated me. I can no longer speak proper English. You flare the wings. You give her shield. Much like the old strike, you plug it in very much the same way. And that's really all that comes in this box. It does come with some nice dry transfers, no water slides, but a lot of good sticker style decals too. It comes with some leftover parts for the Strike, and if you want to, if you get the Strike Remaster, you can, if you follow it up to a point, build the Strike Rouge's version of the Ale unit. Only because these are included on the runner. These are leftovers. They have no use otherwise. Action base connector, you get a standard one, you get a bunch of swappable fingers, you get some leftover parts that'll be useful for absolutely nothing at the moment. But one of the coolest things I discovered when building this thing is you may have noticed something back here. This hole is the greatest hole ever. You know, pun intended, Bouchka Bow Wow. To use this hole, hey-o, all you have to do is take off the rocket pod, and the sword. Then you grab yourself, I don't know, another backpack you like. I'm just gonna go with superior firepower in this case, and a little bit of overkill, and definitely gonna have some power management issues. Not that Kigali ever fights in this thing. She's basically a whiner. Season 1, she's fine. Season 2, she's the target. Let me put it this way. When your most notable thing is getting kidnapped from a wedding by your brother, it's sad. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the IWSP, which you may remember if you saw the last review. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slot these two together, and hopefully everything lines up. And yep, there we go. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. And there it goes. There's the pop. We're not done yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and I'm going to have to fix this again because I just realized part of my IWSP broke off again. Yes, the IWSP is strong. Not all parts of it are made equal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one shield and flip the connector around. How tough is Kigali? Well, we're about to find out. Move it to the left arm. Sorry, the right arm. My left, her right. We're going to move it to her right arm. And then we're going to grab the combined shield. Missing the blade boomerang because who cares? We're going to tuck the handle up over the fixed position open hand and bring the connector around and bring it into the back. Bring the arms forward, the cannons forward, flare the legs, flare the wings, bring the cannons forward. Do not piss this woman off now. This is probably my all-time favorite strike combination now. It's like, hey, yo, I heard you like backpacks, so we put a backpack on your backpack. To make this even cooler, you can chain the Ootoris together. You're going to end up with a chain of Ootoris, but this just means you're going to end up with like a massive octagonal, or however many wings you feel like adding, however many of this kit you feel like buying, you're going to end up with that many backpacks you can chain together, and eventually you're just going to have a fleet of freaking planes strapped to her back. She's going to have so much thrust, she's going to accidentally hit the gas pedal, and suddenly she's gone around the Earth more times than the Flash. She will have met herself and be disgusted with herself, and then have an argument with herself, and then just have a crying contest. The sad part about doing this is I currently have found no ways to reconnect the sword or the rocket pod. When these are off, apparently now they are off. As soon as I find a way to connect these, this is going to be like the ultimate full armor strike. My only complaint so far is, once again, I do not have the launcher and the sword attachments. I want to make this even more overpowered. I want a Strike Gundam equipped with literally everything. But yeah, this is the Master Grade Strike Rouge Ootori with a lot of extra equipment now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, etc., please leave them down below in the comment section now. I have finally retrained my brain. Leave them down below in the comments section. I will be more than happy to respond to you. Please, I love doing this. This is like my favorite pastime. It's one of my brother's favorite things. We do this all the time. So thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.